Hey everyone, so welcome to this annual video I like to try to do, talking about the upcoming NCAA basketball tournaments for both the men and the women. And of course, the women and the men, as of this week, will start, I think, tomorrow night, in some cases. I think March 15th to the 16th. Yeah, it's going to be Wednesday and Thursday for the women when they start off. And then the men, I believe, start tomorrow and Wednesday. But yeah, the women, I'm trying to see exactly what it says here. Because they decided to go with a black font on there. So to kind of adjust that, we will go to NCAA. Just to get that part down. And maybe read off some of this because it did print a little small. So I don't know why for the women. And, so anyway, let's start off with the women here. And the way they're going to kick things off, it's down here. On Wednesday, we're going to have, on Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to have what's known as the first four. Now, in case you guys don't know what the first four is when it comes to both the men and women's basketball tournaments, basically it is all the teams, out of all the other conferences that won either the conference championships or, had winning records that, made them at-large bids that basically made them qualified, if you will, made them qualified for the tournament, if you will. It made them qualified, basically. Essentially, basically, like I said, it made them qualified and everything for the tournament. In the process, basically, it made them, qualified, for the tournament. In the process. So, with that said, again, we're going to start with the ladies here, and apparently you'll be able to see this on ABC, ESPN, if you will. ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, and ESPN News. So you'll be able to, watch it either way that you want. And we're going to go landscape here on this one. I'm going to try to do another reprint here. So I'll be right back in a second because I want to try to, get this more filled out in a second. But kind of get a better idea, hopefully, of what, how things are going to go down. But yeah, the sites for some of these, basically, I think, okay, so the sites for some of these, this is what I'm looking at here. Greenville gets two brackets. Seattle gets two brackets, and that's how the women are described. They're described as basically the first Greenville 1, Greenville 2, and Seattle 1, Seattle 2. With the championship happening, it's hosted by the Big 12 Conference this year, and the championship will culminate on April 2nd. It says here, beginning in 2023, which I think is this year, the Sweet 16 Elite 8 will be held at 2 sites per year with 8 teams competing at each site. So we have 23 round, the 2023 round sets are, Greenville and South Carolina. So that's what's going on there. And the Big 12 is getting, like I said, the hosting duties for this year. And it will take place at American Airlines Arena in Dallas, Texas. That being the Final Four and the national championship. But with that said, the question is again, who is in basically for the ladies. Well, on the 15th, which is going to be Wednesday, at 6 p.m. Pacific, apparently, this is what they're saying, 6 p.m. Pacific. One of the matches basically will be number 16 seeded, or both 16 seeded, Southern U and Sacred Heart. And then on the 15th as well, I'm assuming this is going to be in Greenville, you're going to have number 11 Illinois and number 11 Mississippi State. Then on the 16th in Seattle, you're going to have Tennessee Tech and Monmouth, I can't pronounce. I do apologize for that. It's Monmouth, like Monmouth, if you will. Tennessee Tech and Monmouth, and then before that, in Greenville, you're going to have Purdue and St. John's, New York. And Purdue and St. John's, New York are the 11 seeds, and Tennessee Tech and Monmouth is the 16 seeds. Those are the matches on the 16th, which is going to be on Thursday, and the 15th, which is Wednesday, is Southern U and Sacred Heart at 6 p.m. Pacific, and at 4 p.m. Pacific, you got Illinois and Mississippi State. And the reason for it being that way is, of course, the time zone, the time brackets, if you will, the time zone. So, yeah, hold on for a sec while I go check something out here for a sec. Hold on. Still the same. Yeah, it's still pretty much the same. It's very small, but I'm probably gonna use these to put them together like for a thumbnail or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's just read off here on the site, and I'll get to the men's one later because that's a little bit more clearer. And I say that with all due respect, no offense. All due respect, no offense. So, anyway, let's take a look at the brackets. They will start on St. Patrick's Day. They'll start on St. Patrick's Day and on Saturday, so Friday and Saturday. They will start. So on the 17th, we have in bracket in the Seattle 4 bracket. Well, actually, we're going to start up here because they got it separated. So here, on the 17th, in the Greenville bracket, Greenville 1 bracket, we have South Carolina and Norfolk State. And then we also have, also in that bracket, South Carolina is number 1, Norfolk State is number 16. And following that, also on the 17th, we have number 8, Southern Florida, and number 9, Marquette. Let's see, what other ones do we have on the 17th here? Let's see. Here we go. Following that, we have number 6, Creighton, against the winner of Illinois Mississippi State, which will be slotted at the 11 seed. Following, along with that, we will have Notre Dame at number 3 against Southern Utah. Now you might say, well, wait a minute, isn't Southern Utah in one of those brackets? No, that's Southern U. That's Southern U. So here instead, it'll be Notre Dame against Southern Utah. Notre Dame is number 3. Southern Utah is 14. Number 7, Arizona will take on number 10 seeded West Virginia. That's on the 17th. And to round out the day of 17s, even though it starts earlier in the day, we're going to have Maryland and Holy Cross. Maryland is number 2. Holy Cross is 15. Now, speaking of the tournament, now we're going to move over to Greenville slot 2. Greenville seeded Greenville 2, as they call it. We have Indiana ranked at number 1. That's the women Indiana Hoosiers, Lady Hoosiers. And they will take on the winner of the battle of the number 16 seeded Tennessee Tech and Monmouth, easy for me to say, I do apologize. And then we will have number 8 Oklahoma State against number 9 Miami. Then we will have number 5 Washington State against number 12 FGCU Florida. I'm assuming that's Florida Gulf Coast. I'm thinking that's Florida Gulf Coast. Let me double check here. Let me double check. FGUC. So I'm guessing that's Florida Gulf Coast. That's what I'm thinking. Here. So it's got to be Florida Gulf Coast. Florida Gulf Coast. Easy for me to say. So that's that. That's number 5 Washington State against number 12 FGCU. Number 4 Villanova is going to take on number 13 Cleveland State. And then we jump back a day earlier to the 17th. We have Michigan against UNLV. Michigan is 6, UNLV 11. Then we have number 3 LSU and number 14 Hawaii. And then we have number 7 North Carolina State against number 10 Princeton. And then we have, rounding that up, number 2 Utah against number 15 Gardner-Webber. So, yeah, there's that. And again, that's the 17th along with the 18th. And then we're going to jump back over to Greenville 1. I know it sounds confusing. Greenville 1, because I think I missed some. Yeah. We go back to the 18th in Greenville, slot 1. We have number 5 Oklahoma against number 12 Portland. We have number 4 UCLA against number 13 Sacramento State. And I think, with those being the exception, that's pretty much the Greenville 1 and 2 seedings for the tournament. For the women's tournament, that is. Then, we move down here to the Seattle bracket. That's right, we move down to the Seattle bracket. And here, we have number 1 Stanford against the winner of Southern U and Sacred Heart. Stanford will face them. And that's on the 17th. Also on the 17th, we have Ole Miss and Gonzaga. Ole Miss is 8, Gonzaga is 9. Then on the 17th, we also have number 7 Florida State against Georgia, and number 2 Iowa against number 15 Southeastern Louisiana. Southeastern Louisiana, not Southern Eastern, but Southeastern Louisiana. Then, jumping over to Seattle 3 bracket, we have number 1 Virginia Tech against number 16 Chattanooga. Then we have number 8 Southern California USC against number 9 South Dakota State. Then let's see, we got any more? Nope. Okay, we'll move over to the 18th, March 18th. On Seattle bracket number 4, we have Louisville number 5 against Drake number 12. We have number 4 Texas against number 13 East Carolina. We have number 6 Colorado against number 11 Middle Tennessee State. We have number 3 Duke against number 14 Ona. And over on Seattle bracket number 3, we have number 5 Iowa State against number 12 Toledo. We have number 4 Tennessee against number 13 St. Louis. We have number 6 North Carolina State against the winner of the number 11 bracket game of Purdue and St. John's, New York. Then we have, and North Carolina is ranked is seeded 6, by the way. Then we have number 3 Ohio State against number 14 James Madison. Then we have number 7 Baylor against number 10 Alabama. And then to round it out, we have number 2 UConn against number 15 Vermont. And that's pretty much gonna do it for the ladies, if you will, when it comes to this tournament. So yeah, this tournament is going to be interesting for fans of the women's matchup. And again, like I said, you could actually check these games out on ESPN, ESPN News, ESPN2, ESPNU, and on ABC. So there you go. Now we're going to move over to the men, which I believe I have right here. And it's a little bit more clearer. I don't know why. But for the men, we have in the first 4, which will start tomorrow in Dayton, we have on, I'm assuming it's going to be I'm assuming, I'm trying to see here who's going to be on the 14th and the 15th. Let me double check that on here, because I don't know if we got a clear, indication, of the I don't know if we got a clear indication. So here we go here. This is the men's bracket. It's going to be, so the tournament for the men will be on TBS, TNT, True TV, and CBS. So if you're a fan of AEW, that might cause a little bit of a hassle. Now, for the games here, I don't know when they're going to be played, that being the first 4 games. I'm assuming, yeah, so Tuesday we'll have the Battle of the 16s. That's Southeast Missouri State against Texas A&M C&C. So that winner there, from what I can tell, that's the South, will go on to play Alabama. The winner of Southeast Missouri State and Texas A&M CC will take on Alabama as the number 16 seed against the number 1 seed. Then, following that, and that will be on the 16th. Yeah, that's the game. So, the games that take place tomorrow, the first 4, on the 14th, will be played. Those winners will go on to play, I should say, the teams that play on Thursday. Anyway, getting on topic here, we have Maryland at number 8. We have Maryland at number 8, taking on West Virginia. They will take on West Virginia. We have San Diego State against the College of Charleston. San Diego State is ranked 5. Charleston is ranked 12. And that is on the 16th. Along with number 4 Virginia against number 13 Furman. Number 13 Furman. That'll be on the 17th. Well, not 17th, but that'll be on the 16th. That's what I'm trying to say. Also and that's the South bracket. That's the matchups of the South bracket on the 16th. Moving over to here, to the east, to the Midwest bracket. We have number 1 Houston taking on Northern Kentucky. We have number 8 Iowa against number 9 Auburn. That's the matchup there. So yeah, that's the matchup there. We have also on the, okay, so that's the Midwest region for the 16th. Going to move over here. What do we have here? We're going to go over to the east now. And on the east side, we have Duke number, I think, what are they? What is Duke here? Duke is number 6. They will take on number 12 Oral Roberts. Then we have number 4. What is it? Number 4 Tennessee against number 13 Louisiana. And again, that's on the 16th. And those are the games for the 16th. Then over on the West for the 16th, we have number 1 Kansas. Number 1 Kansas against number 16 Howard. We have number 8 Arkansas against number 9 Illinois. Okay, that's pretty cool. So let's see. We have number 6. I think it's number 6, isn't it? I'm trying to make sure I get this all right. We have... Okay, that's on the 17th. They got some of these mixed up here. Because now we got to jump back over to the Midwest. Because apparently we got a couple more matches on the Midwest. We have number 7 Texas A&M against number 10 Penn State. And number 2 Texas against number 15 Colgate. And that's on the 16th. Then jumping back down to the West. We have Northwestern ranked 7 against Boise State ranked 10. And then UCLA ranked 2 against UNC Asheville ranked 15. Now, we go back to the South now. Go back to the South. We have on the 17th of this month, St. Patrick's Day, we have number 8 Creighton against number 9 what is, let me see, not 8, but what rank is Creighton? Yeah, 6. So, oh, wait a minute. That means basically St. Mary's was 5. So 5 and 12. So I'll get into that in a moment. Guys. So just making sure. Okay, so on this side, we have number 6 Creighton against number 11 North Carolina State. Making sure that's right. Then we have number 3 Baylor against number 14 UCSB. That's University of California, Santa Barbara. Then, let's see. Oh, we got a couple more matches from the 16th as well. Okay, so go back to the 16th. Let's go back a day earlier. We're going to have, let's see, on the 16th, Missouri number 7 against number 10 Utah State. And then number 2 Arizona against number 15 Princeton. So that's back on the 16th. Back to the 17th now. So we'll go to the East now. Make sure we didn't miss anything here. I don't think we did. On the East side of things, let's see. On the East side of things, okay, let me start over here, guys, because I'm getting a little confused. I'm just gonna read off the screen here. I do apologize. So I'll probably check mark this saying starting over. So I do apologize. Okay, so let's start with basically, I'm gonna read it off here. The South. We're gonna start off with the South. So on the 16th, if you will, these are the 3 matches confirmed for the 16th. Okay, so let me go back here and try to find something here. And I want to make sure I get this right. Hold on, guys. I want to make sure I get this right. So I'm gonna open this in another tab. Okay, that's a little small still, but what are you gonna do? Hold on, guys. I'm trying to make sure I get this right. Trying to make sure I get this right. I don't want to watch or anything, so let's get back to the brackets here, guys. Okay. All right. Get back to the brackets. Okay. So, starting on the 16th, we have for the South. This is the South bracket. On the 16th, and these are the four, and actually these are the six. Oh, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, these are the six matchups for that are assigned onto the 16th. These are the six matches, I should say, signed up for the 16th. We have Alabama against the winner of Texas A&M CC and Southeast Missouri State. We have Maryland against West Virginia. And then we have San Diego State against Charleston. And College of Charleston. And then we have Virginia against Furman. And again, going by the numbers, Alabama is 1 against 16. Maryland is 8. West Virginia is 9. San Diego State 5. College of Charleston number 12. And Virginia is 4. Furman is 13. And then continuing on with the 16th, we have number 7 Missouri against number 10 Utah State, and number 2 Arizona against number 15 Princeton. And that's on the 16th for the South. Now, for St. Patrick's Day, we have number 8 Creighton against number 6 Creighton, number 6 Creighton against number 11 North Carolina State. And we have number 3 Baylor against number 14 UCSB, University of California, Santa Barbara. That's the South bracket. Now, for the East bracket, we have on the 16th, if I can find it here. So far we only have 2 on the 16th. We have number 5 Duke against number 12 Oral Roberts, and number 4 Tennessee against number 13 Louisiana. Then on St. Patrick's Day we have number 1 Purdue against the winner of Texas Southern and who's the other one they're facing? Fred Dickerson, FDU. So we have Purdue taking on the winner of Texas Southern and FDU. Then we have number 8 Memphis against number 9 Florida Atlantic. And then let's see here, moving down, we have number 6 Kentucky against number 11 Providence. We have number 3 Kansas State against number 14 Montana State. Then we have number 7 Michigan State against number 10 USC. And then we have, to round that out, number 2 Marquette against number 15 Vermont. And that's the East bracket. Now, moving on over to here, to the Midwest. We have number 1 Houston against Northern Kentucky, and that's on the 16th. Also on the 16th, we have number 8 Iowa against number 9 Auburn. Then, moving down to make sure we don't miss anything, we have number 7 on the 16th. We have number 7 Texas A&M against number 10 Penn State. And then to round out the 16th of March, we have number 2 Texas against number 15 Colgate. Then, moving on to St. Patrick's Day, we have number 5 Miami, Florida against number 12 Drake. We have number 4 Indiana against number 13 Kent State. We have number 6 Iowa State against number 11, either that'll be Mississippi State or Pitt. Then we have Xavier and number 3 taking on Kennesaw State, who's ranked at 14. And then that's it for the Midwest. And then moving on to the West, we have on the 16th, Kansas, number 1 against Howard, number 16. We have Arkansas, number 8 against number 9 Illinois. Then, moving down to the 16th, again, we have Northwestern ranked 7, against Boise State, ranked 10. Then we have UCLA, ranked 2, against UNC Asheville, ranked 15. Then, moving on to St. Patrick's Day on the West Coast, we have St. Mary's ranked, I think they're ranked 5. Yeah, St. Mary's ranked 5 against VCU. We have UConn ranked 4 against Ona, ranked 13. Then we have TCU ranked 6 against the winner of the number 11 seeding matchup in the first 4 of Arizona State and Nevada. So that match, Arizona State and Nevada, for the right to face TCU will take place on the 15th. But that matchup of TCU against the winner will be on St. Patrick's Day. Then we have Gonzaga ranked 3 against Grand Canyon ranked 14. And that's about it for the men's bracket of the first rounds going forward. And then, of course, the first 4, as mentioned, tomorrow will be Texas A&M and CC against Southeast Missouri State. The winner of that moves on to the 16th to take on Alabama. Then Mississippi State and Pitt, I think I had it here, will play on the 15th. The winner of that will face Iowa State in the Midwest bracket on St. Patrick's Day. Then we have Texas Southern and FDU. FDU, I think that's here somewhere. Yeah, that'll be played also on the 15th. 8th and everything, that'll also be played on the 15th, with the winner facing number 1 Purdue. And then Arizona State and Nevada. That matchup will determine who goes on to face TCU on the 17th as well. So only one, believe it or not, only one apparently, first 4 matchup is going to happen tomorrow night. And that's going to be Texas A&M CC and Southeast Missouri State. Almost like the lesser known teams, schools if you will, the smaller ones, get to be the first ones out there to be basically be the first ones out there to, fight for the privilege to, as some people would say, be the first victim of a number 1. So yeah, that's what's going to happen there. And the games will take place on CBS, True TV, TBS, and TNT, which is an answer to the women's tournament being broadcast on ABC, ESPN, ESPN News, ESPN2, and ESPNU. So yeah, basically you got both tournaments covered in a major way on all those networks. So yeah, overall, looks like for both sides, both men and women, looks very excitable. The tournament the Final 4 in the championship is going to take place at NRG Stadium in Houston. So, Alex, if I'm you, and that's you, just Alex, if I'm you and you are supporting your Houston Cougars, who are ranked 1, I'd keep a close attention to this, because you might just have that team playing at home for the tournament. But yeah, pretty good, like I said, pretty decently sized tournament here for both the men and the women. What's interesting about the men is, for the first time, well actually it's not the first time, but I think for the first time in a while, if you're a Kansas and Kansas State supporter, you have both teams in the tournament ranked very high, with the possibility that they could match up, in the national championship, because you have Kansas State as the 3rd seed in the East bracket, and you have Kansas as the number 1 seed in the West bracket. So that's pretty cool. And then, if, that doesn't suit your fancy, you could potentially, if things work out, I think the way they would, you could have the, Gonzaga St. Mary's rematch for a right to go to the Final 4. So that's something to look into as well. So yeah, you got all these matchups here. I think I mentioned Northwestern and Boise State as well. They will be playing. I think they're playing as well. Did I mention? No, I skipped over them. Let me check. yeah, they're going to be playing on the 16th. So yeah, Northwestern and Boise State. Northwestern, of course, number 7. Boise State, number 10. I'm just putting that out there in case I did miss talking about it, which I do apologize for. But yeah, basically this looks like to be a good tournament for both the men and the women. Can't wait to kind of pay attention to it as best I can. One of the things about these kind of games is if you're off, you get to watch them at any time you want. If you're working, you can watch them. If your lounge area has a TV, or if your job decides to use the electronics area's TV displays to put all the games on at once, you have a way to watch it, and you even, especially if you have an app and all that, have a way to watch it here too. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the tournament. Can't wait for it. Again, a lot of great, potential matchups going into the Final Four this year for both the men and the women. There's no doubt about that. The women basically, like I said, they got a heck of a schedule, a heck of a bracket to look into. Excuse me there. They got a heck of a bracket when you think about it. A tournament bracket overall. When you think about it, because it's basically like, it's like who can you pick? It's like what kind of winners can you pick and all that. So yeah, you got a decent size here and everything, which is really, really good. It's really, really good here. What's funny, and I'm not trying to be mean about this, I don't see any Kansas teams in the tournament for the women. Hopefully that changes next year, or maybe they got invited to the women's NIT. One thing I can say around here though is if you're a Sacramento State Hornets fan, you got our team in the tournament, and I guarantee you my cousin's son is probably supporting that as well, because he attends Sac State. He attends Sacramento State as well, and as well as my cousin's oldest daughter, who is at Stanford. She's probably happy her team is in the tournament as well as the number 1 seed. So, hey, we got family in both universities. For the women, as far as the women are concerned, there's no doubt we got to throw our hats towards Sacramento State and Stanford in the long run. Even if Sacramento State's going up against UCLA, and that's going to be a big hill to climb, as the tournament proceeds and all that. So yeah, and I'm looking here. I don't think Stanford is in this one in the men's, as far as I know. But yeah, like I said, brackets look pretty good, and I will provide a link down below so you guys can check them out if you want. I'm sure you guys will, have fun, looking at them and kind of predicting like who's gonna win and all that. What's interesting to me when it comes to these brackets, and I don't know why this has always been an issue lately, in my opinion, but it seems that for the men, they get like regional names for the brackets, like South, Midwest, East, West. And for the women, they used to get that. They used to have that at one point. But now it's like, they don't have that. Instead, it's Greenville 1, Greenville 2. It's, Seattle 4, Seattle 3. It's like, what sense does that really make? I mean, I get maybe because you want to limit your usage of different arenas and venues because, the expense. But still, it's kind of like, can't you just call them, Mid-East? Because I think for the women, I think they used to say, instead of Midwest, it was Mid-East. I think it was Mid-East at one point. And then I think instead of South, it was North. So couldn't they just change it around to like that or something? Or kind of make it like the men? I'm just saying. I think it would be more appreciative if you kind of understand what I'm saying. But yeah, like I said, I look forward to this, and that's the fun about it. That's the fun thing about these tournaments. Even though you don't get a chance to pay attention to it as much as you should throughout the regular season because there's so much going on. when it comes to the tournaments, it's like this is what you got to pay attention to now and keep an eye on, because hey, if you're betting money on it, like through DraftKings, doing doing little bracket tournaments, where at your job where you can win money and stuff. This to me is probably one of the best times of the years when it comes to that. So anyway, though, yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the both the men's and the women's NCAA brackets for 2023. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Comment below, live chat during the premiere, like the video. You will get an audio podcast version of this, hopefully later at BW Rose's Discussions and all your favorite audio podcast locations except for Pandora. You will also, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, you can also find me at VENMO at BW Roses for content you can't get anywhere else, especially certain content I've uploaded recently. Also, you can check me out at deviantart.com, so that's BVW1979. Also, check me out at patreon.com, so that's BW Roses for the $1, $3 tier. Also, support me at Venmo at Brian-Walmer-2 and Cash App at BW Roses 98 to help me out there financially. Also, ladies and gentlemen, you can check me out at my Teespring store by clicking the upper left-hand corner of the screen here if you're watching this on your computer or even your phone, to help support me there help support me there by looking for merchandise you can't find anywhere else. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are overall on the tournament. Love to hear from each and every one of you. And until next time, I'm out.